So this is by far the most dangerous thing we've done with Abraham. I'm freaking out a little bit. Every time John's boot slips a little bit, I'm like yelling and everybody's looking back.
This morning, we find ourselves right on the border of Texas and New Mexico. After shaking off a bit of a wine hangover, it's time to put this harvest host in the rearview mirrors as we continue our route west towards California. We've been told there's a lot more to see going through the desert if you're a bit north. So we'll be changing interstates from the 10 to the 40 and see how far we get across the land of enchantment, which actually turns out just to be a marketing ploy on behalf of the state to attract tourism. Kind of a letdown, but nonetheless still a cool license plate.
We got a random border patrol check stop on a little detour we took to save some money off the interstate. See what they gotta say to us. How you doing, sir?
I don't know why, but my heart is racing.
I'm John, and this is Danny, and this is our home, Taterbug. Living full-time on our renovated RV has taken us to some wild places. Ever since the birth of our son, Abraham, we just can't seem to sit still. So subscribe and follow along to watch it all go down as we move around from town to town.
Hello, everyone. So this morning we left Lavina Winery at about 10 a.m. Abe slept for a solid like 15 hours and we didn't have the heart to wake him up. We just got here to Albuquerque and we're at the Petroglyph National Monument.
I know someday we could finally be. I know someday we could finally be.
Still unsure if that's real.
I think they are now.
Yeah? So at first we thought this was totally fake.
Yeah, because it's like too goofy and fun. But that's probably
No,
just our
that is
cultural
real.
ignorance.
What we learned in our very short time here, probably about just 10 minutes off of 40, this pull-off is petroglyphs were carved by the natives and Spanish settlers about 400 to 500 years ago. Insistently, they say that this is not just Native American graffiti. All of these symbols hold special spiritual recognition. We're gonna be making our way to either a Bureau of Land Management site that's about 15 minutes off 40, or we're just gonna hit another Walmart and call it a day.
We could finally be.
It's like 7:45 in the morning. We're about an hour outside of Flagstaff.
Bites are healing pretty good. Those bites are from the fire ants in Texas. And if you look at them, you can totally see that the pus bubbles are drying out and they're starting to heal up. So, still watching for infection on a few of these, like the hand where the pus bubbles are.
Poor guy.
They're red around it.
We're here in another truck stop. It's right next to a Walmart that doesn't allow RV and truck parking, but thankfully this shut down gas station here has got plenty of room for all the road friends. We're heading somewhere cool today. We're going to the Grand Canyon. Made it to our BLM spot, Fire Road 688. Let me show you where we're at. There's some really big poos out here, which is a little concerning. Oh yeah. You guys hear that? It's the sound of nothing. Really nice road coming through here. A better road than some RV parks, I'd argue. Not too many neighbors. We're gonna hang out, make some breakfast, and then head over to the Grand Canyon. And then after that, we're gonna do a campfire cook tonight. And somewhere in between there, I'm gonna convince Danny to stay out here for like a week or something.
Hey babe, if he's gonna be outside, can we put shoes on him?
Abraham always has a little extra energy after some time in his car seat, so I watched him blow off some steam as Danny got breakfast going.
He's waiting by his seat. He's ready to eat.
You ready to eat, Bum Bum? Hot? Is it hot?
The drive from our campsite to the south entrance of the Grand Canyon was about 8 minutes. We're the Rousseaus actually has an awesome blog about dispersed camping near the Grand Canyon if you're ever thinking about giving this a go. We were a little surprised at the entrance fee.
$35?
Nuh-uh.
Whatever.
Active U.S. military pass. I'm not active, though.
But further learned a brand new policy here at the Grand Canyon.
I don't know why it took so long, because for the longest time it's been active duty only.
That's amazing.
That's awesome. Thank you, man. Thanks.
Appreciate you, brother. So we were like, oh man, $35 to get in, that's kind of a bummer. And then as of the 11th of this month, which is about last week, if you're active or former military, you get in for free.
The many elk had us taking our time on the way to find parking. We were looking for a spot close to the Bright Angel Trailhead, which is known as the most accessible trail along the South Rim. However, we were soon to learn how a little snow can change the condition of a trail by a lot.
So this is by far the most dangerous thing we've done with Abraham. I'm freaking out a little bit. Every time John's boot slips a little bit, I'm like yelling and everybody's looking back.
The Grand Canyon creates its own weather. For example, we're actually on the wettest, coldest trail on the Grand Canyon, which is the Bright Angel. I don't know how much farther we're gonna be able to go on this because of the traction. I'm hearing people are crab walking about 200 yards.
Yeah, so if you could see, there's people all right there around that, and that's where we're gonna be going.
Maybe.
Maybe, I don't know. Yeah! And what's a donkey say?
Yeehaw.
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 Nope. Yeehaw.
Nothing. On the camera.
There you go. So another fun fact about the Grand Canyon is there is a town located at the base. It's populated by about 200 people and it is inaccessible by vehicle. So it is the only town in the United States that still gets their mail delivered by mule. All right, y'all, that was the end of the trail for us.
We were waiting for a turnaround point, and my heel lost a little bit of grip there, and there was just nothing else to see to risk that, you know?
Right where I pointed, that's about where we ended.
Exactly, that's true.
Seeing the Grand Canyon was a last-minute decision, and by far one of our favorite and most memorable stops along our trip west across the country. See you next week when we book it to California. Stay wild.